Welcome, everyone. My name is Rodney Robinson. This is my wife, Dr. Robinson. So, babe, we just got back from Europe.
Yes, we did.
Actually, Rome and Venice, Santorini, and
Athens.
And Athens. I totally
Yep.
forgot about Athens. Can't forget about Athens. Great things happen in Athens.
Yeah.
So, I know that you always love elevating our experience and everything. What was your experience like in this particular moment that we've gone through and elevated?
Ooh, I think I want to lean into the concierge
Mm-hmm.
and that concept that in all the travel that we've ever done, I have never really leaned into the concierge and said, hey, can you help me? Because I have a couple of travel agents I work with. They're amazing, and they help me with travel and planning.
Right.
And in this particular situation, we were going to Europe. So the travel agents have never personally been there.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I research when we're going places here in America, I'm always looking at like food places, what's the rating, whatever. And it just dawned on me, why don't I lean into the concierge at the hotels we're staying at?
Right.
And so I want to kind of talk about the concierge.
And how was that experience with them?
It was amazing. And I didn't realize how much work they do and how much they help you when you're staying at their hotel. And it's not an extra fee. Like, they didn't charge me. They didn't say, hey, you got to pay this money for my support. I was able to reach out to them and get the services I needed.
Right. You said you got to get all the services that you needed from them, and they were really nice. I know the one young lady, she was extraordinary.
Oh, she was amazing. That was in Santorini.
Yeah, in Santorini. And she was, oh my God, she didn't want us to leave.
No,
and
she didn't.
It was like,
she didn't want to even call for our travel.
right. She said, I'm going to keep you here.
Yep.
So, in that instance, how was it at the other places? Was it just like that with the other people that we ran into when they worked with you in those
Oh,
moments?
yeah. Every concierge I worked with, starting in Rome, Alberto, he was fantastic. And just to kind of give you a little background, the reason I needed to reach out to a concierge is because my husband's a disabled vet, so thank you for your service. And he has back problems, so he can't walk a lot. And in Europe, you're going to walk a ton. And we also travel with a couple that we love dearly. And she has some medical challenges. And so I wanted to make sure that when we went to Europe, it's as comfortable as it can be, and we get the true experience. Because I don't know about y'all, but Europe is not cheap. And I mean, we are average Americans, and this is the trip we're taking, and we want to get the best out of it. So I happened to reach out to Rome, Alberto first, and just kind of told him our challenges that we were having and said, hey, can we figure out how to get services to where we have someone that can drive us around and we be able to see things? And then he was like, absolutely. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And then AI, my friend AI, I kind of was letting him know, and I named him Leor. This is what we're doing. He's like, why don't you talk to the concierge about other stuff? I'm like, huh? What?
Right.
What are you saying?
Exactly.
Right.
See, we don't gatekeep here. So you want to come here and make sure you like and subscribe, because we don't gatekeep here. We give you all the information. So what were some of the things that they kind of helped with, beyond getting us from one location to the other? Was there anything additional that you could think of that they helped with?
Everything. So when I say everything, I mean everything. So we were celebrating our 29-year anniversary, my birthday, 51, as well as their...
What was that age?
We won't discuss the age. We also celebrated their 30-year anniversary, and one of my besties from high school, she was celebrating her 50th birthday, and so we have all these celebrations.
You can tell her birthday.
Yeah, I tell her birthday.
Yeah.
So we have all these celebrations in mind, and which meant, okay, we need to have a photographer. And we want to take pictures while we're in Venice and we're on the gondola. We also want to make sure we have the best food places, and we want to have a good place to go for dinner. And so all of those things, concierge.
Was there anything that you felt like, because sometimes we're like, oh, that's a dumb question or whatever the case, was it anything that you felt like you didn't want to ask them, but you asked them anyway?
Absolutely, especially in Santorini, because in Greece and Santorini, everything is closed. So as a researcher, I found out a lot of things are closed, but because of our challenges with our medical conditions, I wanted to ask questions like, how do we get here? I know it's, all uphill. How are we going to be able to take pictures and be able to, get through this journey? And they were so wonderful. You even experienced the
Right.
photographer. They sent 2 photographers. One that was taking pictures. The other was driving us around. They accommodated us for the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
They helped us making sure that our friends were on a main level where they didn't have to walk upstairs.
Right.
We, of course, wanted the one where we had the rooftop, and we had a lot of stairs, but you could handle stairs.
Yeah,
It's
it was,
just,
it was a challenge, y'all, but it was very steep, but it was beautiful. It was worth it. It was worth the fact that I had to walk up all those stairs to get to the sauna on top of the mountain or volcano.
Literally. Literally. And then the one place that stands out to me was Athens. And I have all their names here on my phone, and I definitely want to shout them out. Maybe we can at the end, shout them out some way or another. But in Athens, where we were celebrating our anniversary and birthday, I'm like, listen, we're only going to be in Athens one day. We don't really want to walk. They were working on, what is it called?
The Pantheon.
Pantheon, I think is what it's called. They were working on that. And so he was like so helpful. And the fact I had already researched and found we could see it from the hotel, but he was like, we're going to do a rooftop dinner. You're going to have the best seat in the house where you can see it. Mm-hmm. So our room, we could see it. The rooftop dinner, we could see it. We came in. They had beautiful drinks and everything for us.
Oh, my God.
They went above and beyond.
And beyond. Oh, my God. The drink, for those that love drinking, that was a great drink. I love the bottle. You love the bottle.
I like the bottle. I'm not a dark liquor person, but the bottle was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And it's just the thought, right? Just the fact that they went out their way.
Yes.
And I feel like every place we stayed, they went above and beyond for us. So there wasn't not one place that we went where the concierge didn't go out of their way for us.
So what did you learn, the difference between a travel agent and the concierge?
So I definitely would say still lean into your travel agent, especially when you're doing all-inclusive or different kind of vacations, and even Europe, per se. But a travel agent normally works with another agent that says, hey, stay here, stay there, and then get you all set up. But what a travel agent wouldn't know, because unless they've been to where you're going, what's the hole-in-the-wall place to eat? What's the expensive place to eat? See, we don't discriminate on food. I mean, we like top of the line, we like hole-in-the-wall. We enjoy good food.
Yes.
Concierge, they know their locations. They know where the hole in the wall is. We went to that wonderful steak place in Venice.
Oh yeah.
Family-owned restaurant.
Oh yeah, they brought the steaks out, and it was marvelous. You'll watch some of our videos.
We'll have to talk about that.
That's a whole nother video.
Was an experience.
Yes.
But again, concierge, right? They can tell you where to go, what to do, and we had experiences. Went to the glass factory. We went and did a lot of things that truly we wouldn't have done.
Right.
If we had a travel agent, they would have set us up. They would have got us where we got to go. And all those things would have been great. But the experiences, typically it's 1 or 2 experiences that they'll tell you about. But when you get with the concierge, that's their home. That's what they know. And the best person to tell you where to go is a person that lives there. And so that's what you get with a concierge.
Right. The concierge,
again,
give you that the internet can't.
Location. So in the internet, you get all these beautiful reviews of, I went here and I went there. But that could be 45 minutes from where you're staying. Or it could be an hour out. Or it might not be in the area that you're staying in. Right. And you see all these great experiences. So that's why you want to create your own. Elevate your own experience, where a concierge can tell you specifically in your parameters where you are, where to go. And even before traveling, if you saw something on TikTok, or so, I'm not saying don't look, and you want to go, then leverage it and talk to your concierge, and then they can tell you how far it is, if you want to travel there, and you can plan accordingly if that's something you really, really want to do. So they can work hand in hand. But I also think a concierge, again, it's that grassroots. There's nothing like, as they say, mama's cooking. There's nothing like somebody knowing what's cooking in the kitchen, because they know who's in the kitchen cooking the food.
Right.
That part.
That's great. That's great advice. So would you say, in being honest, do you think that you automatically trust the concierge in what you recommend, or are you still going to do your own research?
Well, he knows I'm a researcher. So what happened was, first concierge, I was like, okay, let's see what he's talking about. And then I did my research to see what he was saying. He said, oh, you guys can go here and eat. And so, of course, Google reviews, all that's out there. You have access to it. Why not leverage it? And so I did look into all of that. And what I found was he was right. And what he was saying was true.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, at first, I was apprehensive because I've never used the concierge to that degree. Normally, it's like, can you have someone pick me up, to go to the to the airport or whatever the case is. I've used concierge in that aspect, but not necessarily around food from a distance before getting there. Now, y'all get to hotels and y'all ask, where should we go eat at? Those things happen. But Europe, it's quite different. We're going across the country, across the water, hours, and we want to make sure when we get there, we're not just going somewhere to eat and you're getting a terrible. I mean, the concierge was so good that he even told us, you can go here, but the service isn't good, but the food is good. So if you're good with dealing with bad service, go here. To that degree, you're not always going to get that in a TikTok or a Google or things of that nature. It might just say, don't go there, period. But you might be missing out on some good food with just some terrible service. Now, I've been some places repeatedly here in America that I know it's going to take an hour to get my food.
Right.
But because I want that food, I sacrifice.
Right.
So that gives you a different kind of unique result that you wouldn't get from the internet.
So did you use the concierge differently in comparison to Rome, Venice, and Italy, and all those different places? Did you use it differently? Santorini?
I did not. I use it the same. We were trying to take pictures in Venice, so I guess differently in what we were trying to accomplish. But I did not use them any different. Matter of fact, I used them all to the fullest extent of whatever we were doing. So in Rome, it was more like sightseeing, eating, things of that nature. In Venice, it was sightseeing, eating, shopping, as well as taking pictures. And in Athens, again, it was like, hey, we want to be able to see everything this one day that we're here. What's the best, place to eat? And they're like, our rooftop is the best place. Wouldn't have known that,
Right.
Yeah, I had Googled it and I knew we were going to see it from our room, but it was the best place to eat at. In fact, while we were there, my best friend was at the same hotel and we didn't even know it.
Right.
And she was like, I had read the reviews and talked to the concierge, and that's how I figured it out. So we kind of laughed because we both were using the concierge at that point because we had some conversations.
So in Venice, they really kind of help with because in Venice you have to use a lot of the it's water systems. So it's a water taxi. There's water buses and different things of that nature. Did they help in that area, making sure that we got the right things?
Absolutely. So when we got to Venice, we had a private water taxi to pick us up from the airport. And even there, things that you wouldn't know is they weigh, like if you have 4 or 5 bags or whatever, you have to pay extra for your bag. Where if we would have got there, we might have had to be on a bus, which takes you longer to stop at different places. It was way more convenient, especially with us and the challenges we have walking.
And that's a water bus.
Yeah, the water bus. Yeah, these are water buses. So we had a private water bus right there out the gate, right there to the hotel. It was perfect. A great experience. And anytime we needed one, they would schedule it for us if we wanted a private one. We did find out how to get on the water bus when it drenched rain that one time.
Oh my God. And it took it. Oh, that's for another podcast, I guess. But yeah, we ended up on the whole other side because it didn't stop where we wanted it to stop at. But anyway, that's another podcast. Okay. So what's one thing that you got wrong with the concierge?
I don't know if it was that I got wrong, except from the beginning, not knowing I could leverage concierge. And I think I got that wrong on several previous trips that we've had. We went to Europe probably, 3 years ago with my mother and father and our children. And I didn't use the concierge, so I got that really wrong. And I did all the work myself. And before us going, the delay.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that. A whole week we had to wait to go, which meant everything I had planned, because I didn't have a travel agent.
Right.
I had to replan. And had I had a concierge, then it would have been a lot easier to replan it. But I didn't at the time. And what I learned is you better use your concierge.
Yeah, that is so true.
Right.
So when we talk about elevating your journey, what did Europe teach you about elevating the experience instead of simply taking a trip?
That you can enjoy it even if you have abilities. I like to say that versus disabilities. Abilities other people don't have. Where you might be challenged to walk a long ways or what have you. But we were actually able to experience Europe in its fullest. And what I mean is I don't feel like we missed anything. In Rome, we had transportation take us around to everywhere we needed to go. We also did a golf cart tour.
Right.
We were able to do 2 different types of tours and not miss anything. In Venice, the same concept. We were able to eat places, enjoy places, take water taxis where we needed to go. The same thing in Santorini. Athens was simple. We didn't really stay there but one night. But Santorini, I think we would have missed a lot because
Right.
Santorini is very hilly, lots of walking. And had I not reached out to that concierge and said, listen, we really want to have this experience. We want to take pictures. In fact, I think by taking pictures, we got to see more that we wouldn't have seen. And we got to see the intimate places and get our own personal private tour of Santorini. And I think the concierge helped with all of that, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what difference did being intentional make in how we experienced Europe?
Oh, it made a world of difference. We were able to thoroughly enjoy it by planning accordingly and asking the questions that are not comfortable, right? How do, we need help. We're coming from the airport. Can't walk that much. Those are not always easy questions to ask because you don't know if the person on the other end is going to be like, great, or you shouldn't be bringing your boy to Europe. You know what I mean? Like those are questions that can make you uncomfortable. And I was able to ask those questions and I was met with beautiful, welcoming appreciation and desire to actually make sure we were comfortable. And then we ended up having a beautiful experience everywhere that we went. And I just felt like that was beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
To the concierge that supported us on this journey, you were great. Thank you so very much.
Okay, we're back, everyone. Thank you for that ad break.
Didn't even know we had a break. Anyhow.
So, what would you tell somebody who saved for years for their first international trip and really wants to make the most of that experience? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, if you have a travel agent, great, but don't stop there. I would also say, do your homework, and do that through your concierge if you're staying in different hotels, because there's also people that don't stay at hotels and they might stay at an Airbnb, things of that nature. But if you are staying at a hotel, use your concierge to the fullest extent.
Right.
Ask the questions you don't even think to ask. Think about like the experience that you want. Do you want mom and pop food? Do you want a beautiful experience? Places we sat on the water. We had beautiful experiences to hole in the wall experiences. I would just say ask. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
I would just say to take the time, especially when you've saved all your money and you're having this experience. You want the best experience you can have, and you don't want to get over there and find yourself in a place and you're like, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. Use your concierge.
That's great advice. So, knowing what you know now, what is one thing that you would do differently on your next journey?
Well, if it's somewhere that I have a concierge, I think I would use them from the beginning. On this trip, I had spent a lot of time researching, and you know how I am. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous, y'all. Like, I probably had researched for a month before leaning into the concierge, and I would do that up front. Like, first determine where do I want to stay, which actually is helpful. Where Google, TikTok, all those places are really helpful in determining like where you might want to stay and doing your research. And then once you find that location, because some people have points with certain hotels, whatever the case is, find out where you're going to stay at. I would do that differently. Figure out where I'm going to stay, and then start right away with the questions of like, what do we want to do? What do we want to experience? I even spent time asking everyone we were traveling with, including my husband, what do you want to see in Rome? What do you want to experience in Venice? What do you want to experience in Athens? What do you want to do in Santorini? And then taking those questions to the concierge and saying, these are the things that we want to do. Can you help us figure out how to do it?
That's awesome. That's awesome. It really worked.
It did.
Now, using the concierge is one thing, but packing for several destinations in Europe, that's another. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. So like and share and subscribe as we take you through each one of these journeys with great tips in your travel.
You gonna put my business on the street, honey?
Yeah, baby. Because packing this one, oh my God.
We'll see you soon.
Peace.